Happy Vlogmas, my dudes! I am reporting to you live from the big radiator in Ammon's room because we're back in Wales and it is crazy cold in the house right now. Yeah! Okay, so for today's chat, I think we should do a lunch break book chat about October and November reads. So I did Shorty September, which was banging as usual, but then took October and November off. Like, not because I was burnt out or anything, but just because, like, I sort of fancied a break. But I read a lot of stuff. I read an absolute load of books, and some of them were freaking amazing, so I feel like we should chat about them over lunch, okay? Today I've got a massive bowl of ramen, because I'm fucking freezing. I was gonna have a sandwich. I had it all set out in my mind, like, ooh, I'm gonna put hummus on it, blah, blah. But then it came to sort of being in the kitchen and making it, and I thought, dear God, no. I need to have something warm. And I've just sort of been holding it to my chest like this, hoping it will warm me through to my soul. I'm also going to put this on it. It's like sauerkraut, like a live sauerkraut, you know? And the expiration date on it is not yet, but it has been open in my fridge since before I went home to America for a week. So I don't know how I feel about that and whether it's going to give me the power shits, but I feel like there are worse things than a little colonic, do you know what I mean? To sort of like clean the pipes out. So maybe like I will go for this. I think I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna take the risk. Okay. So I got my list here. I read 16 books in those 2 months. Like, some of them were just like a bit blah, you know, like not amazing, not really shit. So I don't think we should talk about all of them. Like, okay, When Among Crows by Veronica Roth. This was like a Baba Yaga situation. And like, I can't even really remember what it's about. Like, it was neither good nor bad. Mean and the Undead, Amy McCall. This one was like vampires in the 90s. Like, this girl from England goes to New Orleans, and there's like vampire set, but it's like YA, and I need to stop reading YA. Like, I haven't had a positive YA experience in a really long time. I'm just too fucking old, so I'm gonna take that off. So Thirsty. So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. Love Rachel Harrison. Like, basically, anything she ever writes ever, I will love it. This one was a vampire one, okay? And it's this woman who is like really like buttoned up in her life, you know? She goes to work, she does go to work, you know? She's got this boyfriend, it's like a long-term boyfriend, he sort of cheats on her, but she's like, oh, it's better and like less messy in my life if I don't encounter, like if I don't think too hard about that, blah, blah. And she has this friend who's like a wild friend. She's like literally the opposite. She like does crazy shit all the time and makes her friend do crazy shit. So they go on this like retreat thing, and the wild friend meets these guys, and they're a bit weird, these guys, you know, but she's like, this is a fun time. She makes her friend come. The sort of buttoned up friend is like, I feel like this is dangerous, and the wild friend is like, shh, feels like, shh. So they go and they get messed up with these guys, and they turn out to be vampires, and it changes their life sort of from them. Like, I don't want to give it away, but and like basically like forces this sort of like scared person, this sort of anxious buttoned up person, to sort of like embrace her life a bit more, you know, and like start living her life. And it had vampires, like, and it was so good. Like, I really enjoyed it. Definitely 5 stars. Okay, so we'll talk about Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Okay, this one's a graphic novel, and I think it's from the 80s or like 90s, something like that. Like, is a bit old. By Patrick Horvath, I think. Anyway, it's about a serial killer bear. But like, it's like one of these things where the animals are people, you know, they like talk and wear clothes and work in shops and stuff like that. So she's a bear. And she works in a hardware store, and she like owns the hardware store, and she's very respectable. Everyone knows her and everyone trusts her, but secretly she's a serial killer. Like, she like almost get like, I don't want to like, you know, give it away, but she ends up in a situation where somebody else causes her to be in a position where she might get caught, and she needs to sort it out. Loved that one. That was a really good one. That was 5 stars as well. Okay, Wild Robot which is by Peter Brown. They just made a movie about this, and that's the reason that my kid and I read it. We're like, oh, I'll read the book and then we'll see the movie. Oh my god, so sad, but so cute. It's about like this, it's like in the future, and robots do like everything. But a shipment of robots, like, tanks over in like a storm or something, and all the robots like hit the shore and break up on the shore, except for one robot that survives. And there's animals on the island who are like messing around with this robot and accidentally turn it on. So then this robot like is like alive basically and on the island and has to like serve her like computer functions like on the island with just animals. And she sort of studies the animals and sort of learns their language and like communicate with them. But also something bad happens to a duck family. No, not duck family, a goose family, and there's just one egg left, and the robot has to take care of the little goose like duckling thing. She sort of races the goose, and it's like super cute but super sad. Like there's 3 of them. We haven't read the other 2 yet. I have them up there, but we definitely will do because that was well good. 5 stars. Young Hag and the Witch's Quest. This is by Isabel Greenberg. This was a graphic novel as well, and I love these graphic novels by Isabel Greenberg. She did a couple other ones, and I loved them all. This one was about Morgan Le Fay as like an old woman. And something has happened to the magic in England. Like there is no magic in England anymore, and so it goes around with her daughter and her granddaughter being like, I guess what you'd sort of like call witches now, like in the real world. There are witches in the real world, but they do like sort of medicine and things like that. Like it's not like proper magic, and that's the life they're living until some stuff sort of goes down and they've got to like go and like address the reason all of the magic is gone in England and sort of bring it back or whatever. Like it's really good. I really enjoyed it. I love her like drawing style. Okay, that 5 stars. The Shining. Okay, so Stephen King. I have seen the movie, okay, but I saw it ages ago and I was really scared. I didn't really like the movie, I don't think. But I need to watch it again because I'm in a whole nother era now where I'm really loving scary movies and stuff like that, scary books. But read the book. Love it. So good. I love Stephen King so much. And I feel like not everyone feels like that, and that's fine. You know, like you do you love what you love, but I feel like Stephen King, I just love him so much. I think he might be my favorite author. Like, and I know I don't want to be that person who's like, oh yeah, Stephen King's my favorite author, but I feel like it might actually be true, and I hate myself for that. But anyway, The Shining. If you don't know, it's this kid, and he has like what's called, you know, the Shining. It's like this gift where he can like feel people's emotions and like read people's minds and sort of like get in touch with, you know, dead people and sort of know the future and things like this, like in sort of little waves and stuff like this. But he's only like 5 or 6 years old, so he doesn't know what the fuck to make of it. Do you know what I mean? He like hears thoughts off people and he's like, what does she mean she's gonna go shag the busboy? You know, like that sort of shit. But they go to this hotel. So the dad is like a bit of a drunk. He's a bit of a wild man. Like he wants to do right by his family, but he's like not doing great. He ends up getting this job at a hotel in Colorado where it's shut up for like 4 months of the year because it's literally snowed in. Like no one can get in and no one can go. But someone needs to be there to care for it, you know what I mean? Like as things fall in or if things need repair or to like keep the boiler going so that nothing freezes over, blah, blah. So they have to have a caretaker. And they had a caretaker at one point who just went a bit crazy. So they're like, okay, now we need a caretaker with his family. So he's a family man. He's not going to go crazy. He's going to do right by his thing. But when you're sort of like isolated, you're sort of shut up in this hotel, and it's also haunted, so there's like ghosts there. It all makes you a bit crazy, like isolation and like hauntings and stuff like that. So the dad goes a bit crazy. So good. I love that. 5 stars. I didn't expect it to be 5 stars either. I just thought, oh, I'll dip into this one. Wait, no, actually I think I gave that one 4 stars. Still, anyway, whatever. Next one is Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. T. Kingfisher is another one that I love. Like, could potentially be my favorite author, that one as well. Love her. Love everything she writes. So, Nettle and Bone, I think is actually YA, so which completely gets rid of my idea that I'm not going to read YA anymore because it was amazing. It's about this woman. She's like a princess in like a magical land, but she's like the 3rd princess down, so she doesn't get anything good. Her sisters marry these like rich princes or whatever, and she has to just go and be a nun. But one of her sisters is being abused by her husband, but there's nothing that she can do about it because she's in like a delicate place politically. She's like, I can't fight back against him because then like the kingdom that I've come from, that I married him to protect, like is in danger, blah blah. So she has to just let him torture her. So this little sister, she's like, okay, I gotta save her. She goes and she finds this like witch or whatever, and they go on this quest to find this way to kill the husband or whatever, and it's brilliant. It's so good. I think that I gave that one 4 stars as well, but I mean, like looking back on it, 5 stars. So good. Okay, Dark Harvest by Norman Partridge. This is a bit of a random one I didn't really like know anything about, but it's got a bit of a cult following, I guess. So this one was sort of giving Stephen King a little bit, I felt. So it was again like a small town, so a small town horror, you know? But it's this town that's cursed to where this monster, this like jack-o'-lantern head monster, comes out of the corn every year on like a specific day and tries to make it to the church. And the boys of the town, they have to be from like 18 or like 16 to 18 or something, like teenage boys, have to stop the creature from reaching the church or something terrible will happen. But then there's like a sort of twist that you find out later about how it is that the monster is made every year. Like it's a new sort of creation every year, and they sort of tell you how it's like made, and also like why the town is cursed and stuff like that. Is cool. I think that's probably one of my favorite books of the year. So we might talk about this later when we do like the best books one. Okay, Diavola. This one's by Jennifer Marie Thorne. This one, again, I think one of my favorite ones of the year. So she works for like, I think she like works in the city, works in New York or something like that. And she's got this big family with like loads of siblings, you know. And the family goes to stay in this villa in Italy. And she's like a bit of a black sheep, she feels, you know, like people, I don't know, in her family don't really respect her or whatever. She doesn't really get them, blah blah. And it sort of plays out in this haunted villa, you know, where they like blame her for stuff and it's clearly not her, you know, and they sort of fight amongst each other and sort of like demonize her or like make her the scapegoat, blah blah. Also, the haunting in that one, like the figures and like historical figures or whatever that haunt that villa, and like why it's haunted, and also like why it is that they came to be there in that haunted villa. Super interesting and good. So okay, I'll just say that and stop there. No more. So good. 5 stars. All the Beauty in the World. Okay, this one's by Patrick Bringley. Bringley. It's non-fic. It's a memoir about when he worked at the Metropolitan Museum of Art as like a docent or like a sort of guide or like a guard. It's like, you know, the people in the museum who sort of stand and tell you not to touch anything, you know, but also if you have any questions about it, they can like explain the art, do you know what I mean? So he like, apparently you don't have to have a lot of qualifications to do that. And he just sort of needed a break from other stuff. And he's like, oh, I'll go and do this thing that doesn't require like a lot of qualifications or whatever. And ended up staying for 10 years because he absolutely loved that job. It just sort of like talks about his life and his thoughts, and like I guess when you have that much time to just like stand and look and observe and think about nothing and just like look at art, like you have all these like really profound thoughts, and he just shared those with us, and I think that's again another of my favorite books. I'm gonna talk about that one again, I think, at the favorite books video. Haunt Sweet Home. Ugh, this one was about like a haunted show, like one of these ones where it's a show where they pretend that it's haunted and they mess around, and then the woman that's working on the show actually gets haunted, but the reason she was haunted was stupid and the ghost was stupid and the ending was stupid, so no, fuck that. Graveyard Shift as well. ML Rio, I think that one is. This one is about zombie mushrooms, which I normally love zombie mushrooms, me, but the ending, like it like was like working up, like good plot, good characters, good everything, and then it just sort of ended. I don't understand why it just ended. So I gave that one 2 stars. Like we don't need to talk about that one either. Okay, that's it. That's the list. I'm proud of us. Real good. We got through that well quick. The books, my advent calendar books for today. I haven't started yesterday's one yet, and today's one is in Welsh, so it's gonna take me like a bit of time to get through it. So I don't think I'm gonna finish those or catch up with that situation today. But I'll try extra hard and we'll try again tomorrow. We'll chat about them tomorrow, shall we? I know we'll have like a new book then as well. I'm gonna catch up. I'm like this weekend, by the end of this weekend, swear to you, I will have caught up with my advent calendar books. I swear it. Okay, have you gotten this far? Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything for me, anything at all, please let me know. And I will see you